Welcome to my channel.
I cheated on my boyfriend twice. He hit me, threatened me, now I've cut off contact and I ducking miss him. Story 1. This will be a wall of text but Teresa Boulder on my chest and I feel if I don't let everything out somehow, I'm going to go crazy. History: I started seeing my boyfriend, B, when I was 19. He was 25 at the time. He fell for me instantly and I eventually fell for his charm and warmth. We dated for 6.5 years and we were planning on getting married at one point. The first 2 years of our relationship were a dream. We fell in love harder every day. Each day with B was a dream, an adventure. I'm a person that's easily bored and he always put in an effort to keep me entertained or amused. He was lovely. He loved me more than he loved himself. I believe till date that he would give me the last bite of foodie as if I'd ask. He always did something special for my birthdays and Valentines even though I'm not particularly keen on celebrating either. He would buy me small presents as a surprise just to see me smile. He'd send me texts during the day with a warm encouraging message. I have a high stress job. I just can't overemphasize how amazing he was. After the second year into the relationship, he was still his lovely self but started getting slightly insecure, although to this point he had nothing to worry about. He kept asking why I would talk to an old guy friend or why I added an ex-colleague on Facebook. I addressed his concerns and he seemed okay for a few days, but then he started getting angrier more often. That being said, he was still very caring and considerate. Still as much in love with me as he was on the first day. Still wooing me, still looking after me, etc. First time I cheated. 4 years into our relationship I met a guy, C, through a friend. C and I started off just friends but eventually we got very close, and would talk on the phone for hours. We never flirted openly but it was obvious to both of us that the other person is special to us. Now B found out, we had a huge fight, he forgave me and we moved on. However, this scar never left B and understandably he would often bring it up and of course his insecurity now grew. Second time I cheated. This is 5 years into our relationship. My feelings for B have waned. I love him dearly, I still do, but I am not romantically sexually attracted to him. I try to break up with him but then his mother falls very seriously ill. Another time I want to bring up the topic, he's going through very heavy financial troubles. I admit I was too much of a coward to bring it up and when I did work up the courage the time would be wrong. Around this time I meet an old friend of mine, D, and we become physically involved. My relationship with D by this point is an escape from a life with B which I find unbearable. I feel the need to say that again I was too much of a coward to break up with him. I also felt like he needed me to take care of certain things in his life and if I left he'd fall apart. About 7-8 months into my affair my boyfriend confronts me about the second instance of cheating. I deny it initially until he admits he's read my texts. I tell him and he snaps. He hits me, chokes me, pulls my hair, slaps me numerous times. I was pretty bruised up. Anyway, the next day we talk and I assume he wouldn't want to stay with me and I want to say a final goodbye and apologize for what happened. Turns out he wants us to stay together. I say that I can't be with him after the clusterfuck that our relationship has become. He then threatens to ruin my life, threatens the safety of my family, threatens to ruin my career. We fight and eventually under a lot of duress and promises on his part I agree to work it out. What ensued was 8 months of a mind duck like no other. We both held grudges, we had lost trust in each other, we were both deeply scarred by the other's actions and still B refuses to end the relationship. The last few months we've come from a point of being head over heels in love with each other and willing to do anything for the other, to wishing the other person was dead. And still B refuses to end the relationship. A few hours ago he turned up outside my house at 1 a.m. We don't live together and created an enormous scene. He called me W or liar etc. I admit I am and basically woke the entire neighborhood. I realized that we were going nowhere and that I would have to be brave and just cut off ties cold turkey. This is what I've done. He was and is a wonderful human. And he loved me like I've never seen another person love someone. I ducked us up. I didn't have the balls to stand up and break up with him and take a stand when it mattered. Then I went and cheated on a guy that only ever wanted to make me smile. Then we drove each other to a point where everything beautiful about our relationship was just washed away. Everything kind, considerate, thoughtful he did for me is buried under a lot of anger and hurt. But the saddest part is, I did this to us. We were beautiful together. We were each other's crutch, best friend, entertainment, lover, and we truly completed each other. I wish that either I had broken up when I felt I couldn't reciprocate his feelings, or I should have stuck my head down and worked hard at the relationship. Now I'm just sitting on my bed crying non-stop because I can't stop thinking about that time he went and bought me a purple dolphin plush toy because I love dolphins and the color purple. I can't stop thinking about the time he drove 20 kilometers at 2 a.m. at night just to drop off cake to kill my cake craving. I can't stop thinking about the care packages he would make for me and surprise me with whenever I felt unwell or under stress from work. I can't forget how he dropped off cat food to my house at 3 a.m. because I realized I was out. I can't forget how he dropped his work just to go pick up my little sister when she was stranded somewhere and I couldn't make it. I can't forget that he'd so often cook something wonderful especially for me. I can't forget that his hugs were a world of their own. The most comfortable and safe feeling I've ever known. Please learn from my mistake. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, personally, I don't think either one of you is right in the head. I'm just coming out of a similar situation, but I never cheated physically. He acted the same way, without the loving nature. Ended with him hitting me and trying to force time on me after months of not wanting anything to do with me. I don't really think it's a wise idea to try and get back together. Once someone violates that barrier and abuses you, it's bound to happen again. It's okay to still love him and miss him. From time to time, I miss the happy moments from mine as well. You don't have to forget the good things. But you should stay away. For your safety and his sanity at least. I say this a lot, but I'm a firm believer in good people make bad decisions. From this point on, focus on yourself and strive to be a better person. Your past doesn't have to define you if you don't let it. I'm sorry if this is blunt, I just hate seeing stuff like this. I'd go into more detail about my experience in this, but I didn't want to babble. If you need someone to talk to that knows your situation, feel free to PM me. Or reach out to someone please. Anything but go back. At least not right away, okay? Op answer, yes, I'm very sure of the fact that there is no point in trying to work this out because we've tried. And we've tried for a long time. But the damage is done. I wish you all the best with your journey. Thank you for the morale boost. Redditor 2, well, that's a mess alright. I think you should just be on your own for a while. You aren't in your right mind. You've been through a lot and made a lot of mistakes. Time to reboot. If you two really love each other, you need to talk. You both obviously know the history of your situation. Is it worth saving? It's going to take two very mature and reasonable people to wade through it and work it out. You've cheated twice. He has to live with that. And there's more after that. Story 2. Update. Caught my M34 wife F30 cheating on me and she is furious with me. A week ago my wife said she was going out with university friends after some volunteer shifts that she does. She said she would be home late and not to worry. After 11 p.m. she said she was going to stay at her friend's house and go to work from there in the morning. This is very unusual, so I started calling and messaging like crazy hoping that she could just take a taxi back. She refused to pick up the phone and told me not to worry. She continued to refuse and was obviously drunk, so I became worried and very suspicious. Not proud of it, but I went into her emails and checked the rota for her volunteer work and sure enough she wasn't on it. This led me to check her internet history and I found a whole heap of searches clearly indicating an affair. I went to work that morning and she still wasn't back, so I confronted her when I got home that evening. She admitted the searches and said they were just her fantasies and that she had been at an 80s night and nothing had happened. When I told her she hadn't stayed with her friends, she admitted that too, but said she had been at the club all night and came straight home. Obvious lies, as she was looking at hotels online and from card payments from our joint account I can see was not in a place that does 80s nights. So I'm not an idiot and it's 100% clear what has happened, but she will not admit it and becomes really angry with me when I bring it up. She says constantly that she stayed out and made the searches because I have never paid her enough attention and she needed more intimacy from me. I'm losing my mind because I still want to fix this but can't even proceed to the first step of accepting the situation, let alone forgiving her, as she won't admit what is obvious. She's so angry with me and has recently told me she is scared of me now because I was so angry the evening after she was out all night. She doesn't look remotely sorry for how she has acted, and now when I bring up the night she simply says, "I told you everything, I'm not gonna talk about it." This, even though her story is provably false. I feel like I'm purgatory now. Together for 10 years and I don't even know this person. I need to know, is this kind of behavior typical for someone who has been having an affair? If so, are there ways I can get her to admit what she has done, or at least be willing to answer my questions in a believable way? Is there a way I can move forward because everything I do is hitting a wall? Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, from my experience this is typical and she's attempting to gaslight you. Unfortunately, I think your relationship is over and she has no remorse for what she's done. I think if you can go away from home for a while she may understand that you are serious about this, but be prepared to separate and never see her again. I'm sorry that you're in this situation. Redditor follow up, don't leave your house though. That can bite you in the ass if you decide to leave her. Redditor 2, very typical. She will continue to lash out because she is confident you don't know the truth and she will continue to gaslight you. The only way she will admit it is with evidence. She will only admit the truth after you show her you know the truth. Sorry, Redditor follow up, this is exactly what's happening. She's trying to make it seem like you're the crazy one or the one to blame. Redditor 3, first step is to see a lawyer and serve her with divorce papers. You can always choose not to proceed, but as long as you're weak and wishy-washy she will dig in. If she says fine, let's divorce, then you're better off anyways. Redditor follow up, remember, don't say you are going to divorce her. Women have the best leverage in court already, even more when they seek a lawyer first. Do seek the best lawyer you can get ASAP. You are going to be court or pet if you don't. Talk to the lawyer about how to protect yourself from the false claims she is making about you, that she is afraid of you, that you are aggressive. Like, if she locks herself in a room, harms herself and blame you, you are fucked. Save every piece of evidence of her affair. Texts, videos, messages, emails, this shit is erased really fast. Good luck. Redditor 4, I'm on a different continent and it is clear as day she is cheating. Why are you unsure? Currently, she is gaslighting you. She's using everything in the cheater's manual to make sure you are confused and unsure if she cheated or not. She is hoping that by the end of her campaign you will decide there is no other way other than accepting her version of the truth. Saying she is afraid of you is one of her best moves. She is afraid of you because you are stubborn, and instead of eating the shit she's feeding you, you are looking for better sources of nutrition. You're thinking for yourself, and this is a problem. So to keep you in line, she is accusing you of one of the easiest things she can to get the reaction she wants from you, that you are abusive. Most men, when accused of being abusive, back out immediately. This is what powers her accusations. There have been a few recent threads here, from a woman's perspective being the most memorable one. A woman who got in a verbal argument with her husband. The argument wasn't going her way, so she told her husband that he is scaring her. She realized she was wrong, but it was too late, as her husband withdrew so far he was refusing any sort of intimacy with her, not even sleeping in the same bed anymore. What your wife is looking for her is probably not this exact reaction, but enough of a reaction that you will fall in line, in your place. You will become the version of the husband she wants and needs, not the one you want to be. This is also taken from a manipulator's how to pamphlet. It's right at the top of the list. What you need to do is hold your ground. First, stop sleeping in the same bed as her. Not doing this is against your better interests, as she can control you with time if she has easy access to you. Keep some space. Under no circumstance leave the house if you own it or part of it. If you leave, you are already starting with a handicap. Sleep in a separate bed, so that at divorce proceedings, you can claim separation happened for some time. Then talk with a lawyer. A lawyer will protect your interests and will make sure you are not taken advantage of. There are no kids involved, none that you have mentioned, so it should be an easy process, regardless of how spiteful she will become. And expect her to be nasty since she is not very nice right now. This relationship is over and done. You are young, you don't need this bullshit in your life. And you're young enough to be able to rebuild your life with someone else, someone who respects you. Your current wife doesn't respect you. This can happen for various reasons, but more than anything it is because she only sees you as a provider, not a partner. You're the safety net, the fallback, the guy who married her and should be there through better or worse. What you are experiencing right now is the worse. But you see, when you said those words, they did not refer to cheating or infidelity. They were talking about financial issues, sickness, other hardships life may throw at you, like the loss of a loved one or a child, and so on. The worst she is throwing at you right now is something else. You don't have to be there and deal with this. If your relationship would have had a chance here, she would have been truthful with you. She would have admitted what she did wrong. She would not have lied to you once you presented her with the evidence you had. She would not have accused you of being abusive. She would not have gaslighted you. She operates on the confidence of he knows some things, but not all of them, and she will only admit to what you can prove, and nothing more. Even though the truth is visible from outer space. I read this subreddit every day. Cases like yours are not rare or unique. I've seen some of them working out, but the wife was immediately remorseful and regretful. And genuine. What you are dealing with right now is not that. You are the kind that will submit a new update in a few weeks, that things didn't work out. Or that you are trying to make it work, but you can't trust her. And you can't trust her. She is so comfortable lying to you that she starts with I am volunteering, then I was with a friend, then I was just curious, then I wasn't in that club, then I wasn't in that hotel, and so on. You have to ask yourself, how can you trust such a person? She lies to you like it's no big deal, she deflects, she turns all her wrongdoings on their head and makes them your problems and faults. You know how a healthy couple fixes the you aren't giving me enough attention issue? They talk, honey, you've been busy all week, I feel ignored, come and give me some love, let's go to a date night, dinner, a move or something like that. And the issue is so easily fixed. What your wife did is cheat. Good luck to you. Redditor follow up. I read all of this and it's so descriptive of what I went through. Great post. Redditor 5. She's doing what cheaters do and what liars do. Mine did the same. She will continue to deny and gaslight until you have irrefutable evidence, but the you don't pay enough attention to me, I need more intimacy says a lot. That's what she's searching for. Redditor follow up. Mine said we never have sex, meanwhile I'm trying daily and nightly to rekindle that, but she's cold as Antarctica. Redditor 6. She says constantly that she stayed out and made the searches because I have never paid her enough attention and she needed more intimacy from me. Out of all the bullshit, I think this is the part that irritates me the most. So, because she needed more intimacy, she didn't use her mouth like an adult to communicate. Instead, she performed a bunch of questionable searches, a plan which required you to first discover said searches, at which time, surely a mature and reasonable conversation about intimacy would then ensue. Wow. I wonder if she realizes that it'd be a lot more efficient to just call you a dumbass fool to your face? Don't let her gaslight you with her crap, and her lies. I'm sorry, but it's pretty clear she has minimal respect for you. I know it's easy for us to say just leave her already, so instead I'll say I hope you are free of this toxic, awful, liar, soon. Redditor 7. Something like this happened to me 17 years ago. I had the text messages between them, printed them out and confronted her. She told me all they did was kiss. I immediately called her on her bullshit, made her tell the kids she had to leave because she did something wrong to daddy, kicked her out and told her to go live with him, who was married. She left and stayed with her family members because he was just looking for a piece of ass and not looking to destroy his relationship. Her family all dragged her through the ringer for doing this to me, because I had been a good husband. We had intimacy, we had, really, a good life. We had been married 10 years at the time. She finally admitted what she did, went and got psychiatric care, counseling. She wanted another chance, and after she met my rules of complete honesty, openness, continued psychiatric care, I allowed her back into the home. The thing is, if I hadn't been so decisive, she wouldn't continue to try to bullshit me. With me kicking her ass out, she realized what she was giving up. We recently celebrated our 27th anniversary. Don't get me wrong, that trust was broken and it's taken me a very long time to get past most of it, but you have got to be decisive. You know what she's done. Just do it. Your pain is real. It's tough, but the measure of a person is seen during hard times. Measure yourself and be proud of yourself. You deserve love, you deserve respect, you deserve all the good things that should be in a marriage. You deserve a faithful and respectful partner. Kick her out, or, if she had nowhere to go or refuses to go, sleep separately and see a divorce attorney. Put the bullshit she's shoveling out of your mind. A year from now you'll be proud of how you handled yourself. Don't be mad. Be cold. You don't want to say mean things, you don't want to be violent. You want to be firm and calm, cool, collected. Redditor 8, she's unapologetically cheating on you. You don't need proof. You can unilaterally decide that this is the relationship you want to be in and you can start divorce proceedings. She is not the person you thought she was. There isn't anything to salvage here because she won't even admit there's a problem. Meet with an attorney to understand what your options are. Meanwhile, lock down the money and credit cards. You don't want her to drain the accounts and bounce. Redditor follow up, she's unapologetically cheating on you. You don't need proof. Seconded. Redditor 9, this may sound counterintuitive but hear me out, your best option is to serve her with divorce papers. She is obviously monkey branching while hiding the truth because she is afraid to be alone and not sure about the new guy yet. Show her what she is losing. Make sure she knows that you don't accept her behavior. Take the initiative and show her in action that either she is in or out. She is the one who needs to fix things, not you. Redditor 10, duck that, she doesn't get to dismiss you when her actions are clearly indicating cheating. Tell her to own up or else you're leaving. I would tell her everything points to her cheating and instead of being dismissive and angry about it she should talk through it with you so you don't go off assumptions that could hurt the marriage. She's in the wrong and needs to admit what happened that night. She broke your trust and is acting like oh well. I would take some space from her. Redditor 11, she's so angry with me and has recently told me she is scared of me now because I was so angry the evening after she was out all night. Read about 75% of the comments and haven't seen this mentioned yet. This is the scariest part of the whole op to me. You need to stop interacting with her as much as possible. As everyone said, the relationship is over since she's still lying and manipulating. But to me it sounds like she's trying to lay groundwork to call you scary and abusive with anger issues. You need to immediately start recording your interactions over the affair immediately. If you can sneak a hidden nanny cam into the living room, even better. But you need proof that you've never been scary or aggressive or out of control with her. She had an affair. She's scared and embarrassed and angry she's been caught. If you do break up, she won't want the narrative to be it ended because she opened her legs. She'll want it to appear that you're delusional and have anger problems and abuse her. You want evidence? Call the hotel and ask them to email you and fax you a copy of your folio. You have the same last name. Give them the confirm number, or if you don't have it, the date of check-in out and last name. You have the last name, so call and say we forgot to formally check out and get the folio and did not receive an email copy of the folio, so please send it over now because you need it for expense reimbursement for poses. Use your work email if possible. If she has a unisex name, even better, you can call as if you were the guest. Say it with authority and as if nothing is wrong, they'll send one. Redditor 12, our surviving infidelity might be the best sub for you now. All the best. Redditor 13, probably time to leave in all honesty. Often people like this are afraid of being alone. Sounds like she's just keeping you in reserve until she's confident she is something else. If you're insistent on trying to work it out the next time it comes up, I would just make it clear you do not believe her excuse, you are never going to and are going to wait until she is ready to tell the truth, then stop bringing it up. Redditor 14, volunteering. Uni friends. Is she jobless and dependent on you? If so, she probably sees you as a means to be fed and sheltered. These types of cases infuriate me because you could feasibly be required to pay alimony. Divorce lawyer time. Redditor 15, My ex-husband did the same thing. And after 10 years he still claims he didn't cheat. Dude. You deployed with the chick, admitted to sleeping with her, told each other you loved each other, came back home and went to the beach over the weekend with her, stayed at her house when we fought. How the hell can you say you didn't cheat? Oh, and the hooker you met with at Denny's was just to talk to someone. If she's not admitting it, you have two choices. You either break it off or go along with her lies and continue getting cheated on. Redditor 16, she's cheating, and quite brazenly too. What strikes me from her reported behavior is that she feels she can just blow you off, her husband, in regards to a whole bunch of lies told to cover up her cheating. She clearly thinks that she either holds all the power in the relationship and can do anything she likes and you won't leave, or that she simply doesn't care about you anymore. What you need to do is decide if you are either okay with being her bitch, which isn't healthy for you and I wouldn't recommend, and accepting that she will do this as often as she likes, or cutting loose. The healthy option is to cut loose. 10 years doesn't mean squat if you spend another 20 unhappily trying to hold on. It's difficult, but it seems like this person is not interested in you and doesn't respect you, and therefore you need to look out for yourself and remove this person from your life and move on to the next happy thing. Redditor 17, if so, are there ways I can get her to admit what she has done, or at least be willing to answer my questions in a believable way? Assuming this relationship is over, I suggest getting over this part ASAP. The sooner you stop trying to make sense of her actions, the sooner you can heal mentally. Otherwise it just eats at you. Redditor 18, your wife cheated on you and she is furious with you. What the hell? Just collect the evidence of cheating and talk to lawyer. Divorce ASAP. Redditor 19, why do people have to prove an affair? You know how you feel, and your relationship is the cause of those feelings. If she is making you miserable, find out what you need to do to be happy. Redditor 20, why do you want to fix this? She isn't remorseful. She is lying to you. She betrayed you and given her behavior will do it again. Have some self-respect and end it.
Thank you for watching. Comment what do you think about this situation. Don't forget to like and subscribe.